Welcome to CityCast Denver. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. Producer Paul Caroli, good morning.
What's up, Bree?
And Michelle Jackson, hi.
Hi.
So we've got some interesting stuff to dig.
Michelle.
What?
I have to say this. This is a momentous occasion, I think. Because you and I have known each other for like maybe 10 years, and we have talked about podcasts for a long time. But I think today marks the first time we've ever actually recorded one together.
I'm geeking out about this. Oh, this is awesome.
I'm kind of excited about it. I just realized that like 5 minutes ago.
Because, Michelle, you've been on our show several times, but I guess not when... Actually, you know what? The last time you were on our show, you had the audacity to bring up Canada, and Paul was not here, our resident Canadian.
I heard about that from some people.
I wonder...
The Canada group chat was going off.
I wonder what they had to say about my take.
What did you say? Remind me. I'll respond to it. Exactly what was it? Was something... Is it about drivers?
Basically, my take was that why are we spending marketing funds on trying to get Canadians to come here when they are not going to come? Instead, we should reallocate that towards states where we know those folks are going to be coming here. Also based on the data of who visits Colorado. So that was my...
So you're being a hater. Look, it's okay.
It's okay. Love Canada. I want them to stand on business, and I understand they're not coming. It was more the naivety of this approach to marketing Colorado in the moment we're in.
Well, here's what I heard from a friend who caught that, who was also, like me, a dual citizen. They were like, they heard that Canada was actually, tourists from Canada are coming to Colorado still more than other states. Like apparently tourism from Canada to Colorado is still relatively strong compared to other places in the United States.
That's surprising to me because if I'm Canadian, I would be like, you know what? There's mountains elsewhere.
That's true.
I freaking love Colorado, but I would just do things different. And that's okay. Yeah. We're all different. Okay.
Yeah, we Canadians, we got our own Rockies up north. And my mom always tells me every time she visits, Canadian Rockies are a little nicer.
Isn't that Alberta?
Jeez, my God.
Isn't that the province of Alberta, right?
Yeah, a lot in Alberta.
So, I mean, literally Calgary's in Alberta, right? That is our cousin city. So I have friends who live in Alberta. We'll take the same pictures in the same day and not have, communicated about what we were going to do that day. The same pictures. So I'm glad Canadians are coming, but I'm surprised all at the same time. Do what you want. That's all I got to say.
I also feel like it depends on where in Canada you're from. Like, I assume if you're from like Toronto, you would not, I would go to New York City or, like a more cosmopolitan place, but whatever. No judgment. We're a beautiful place. Canada's a beautiful place. Yeah. I have to love Canada because I now have a family member who's Canadian. So
I love Canada.
I can't disrespect your country, Paul.
There you go.
I mean, there's parts of it that are worthy of disrespect, for sure. I mean, it is like America, not a monolith. Millions of people, some of them assholes, some of them great.
And you guys serve fake iced tea. It's disgusting, but it's my complaint for another day. Canada will come up later in this conversation, maybe because we're going to be talking about hockey, but we're also going to be talking about some Denver history, the end of an era of a cool space in 5 Points. And again, the hockey conversation will include a quiz that Paul is going to bring to you and I, Michelle.
So God.
Stay tuned. I know nothing about it either. But I think you're going to win this one, Michelle. So don't worry about it.
Probably not.
Well, let's start with the closure of the original Green Spaces. So Javon Taylor, who's the CEO of Green Spaces, which is a co-working and sort of mixed-use space in 5 Points, is closing that location, which is at 2590 Walnut Street, next week in order to focus on the bigger version of the space that he is building out on the 16th Street Mall. Michelle and Paul, I honestly have not been to Green Spaces probably since it opened. Could you guys describe what it is or what it was at the original Five Points location?
Well, I can start because it's kind of changed. Like, it used to be just a straight up co-working space. In the early 2010s, it was I worked there for a while. I had a contract when I was in my co-working days, and it was beautiful. It was full of these green plants. It was very lush. It was a great community. And then in 2022, Javon Taylor bought it, took over the space, and he changed it a little bit, and he removed some of the desks in that big front area, and now they have had sometimes used for events, and he's really focused more on events and community groups and specifically retail. He's really reshaped green spaces into a retail market. He's brought in a coffee shop, he's brought in art spaces. I was there on Sunday. There was a tattoo shop in there running. There's a couple of empty stalls as well, so it was clear then that there was some transition happening, and the fact that it's closing was no surprise to me.
Yeah.
That was similar to my experience. I don't think I connected the dots that the retail spots were also a part of green spaces. But I remember going there when Black and Blossomed was there, which is a beautiful, beautiful floral shop that used to be in that space. I love Amiga's coffee shop. I'm just not on that side of town that often. That's like the big thing. But if I were, I would definitely pop in. I really enjoyed the energy, like the word, the way I would just describe the experience of being in there is just energy, vibrant, youthful. Like, it's just a very positive, fun experience. So I loved it. Again, I don't know why I didn't connect that all of those components were a part of it. But now I did, and that's great.
I think that's the model that he's really going with in the new space. So he's closing this one down. He's focusing his attention on a new space at 16th and Welton. Javon received a $2.7 million grant from the city, or the Denver Downtown Development Authority, to get it going. And this is much bigger. It will fill an entire corner of downtown, which was formerly home to Radio Shack, Taco Bell, and Jimmy John's. Business End reports he's going to be subleasing some of that space at a discounted rent to 5 new local shops and restaurants, thanks to those funds. And also, I think, Michelle, you'd like to know that I think Miga's is coming with him. The Miga's coffee shop will be the anchor sort of tenant in this new space. Paul, we talk so much about downtown. I mean, since we started this show, we have been talking about its eminent revitalization, which is in process, but has been in process for a long time. What do you think about this big gamble, a business takes to move into a space on the 16th Street Mall? I'm sorry, on 16th Street.
I'm going to let that one go.
I'm just going to still call it the mall. I'm sorry. The mall. He's moving into the mall.
Actually, can we stop there? Because Michelle, you and I were talking about that, and you had a take on that was similar. But I want to ask you, because Lisa Calderon, who has run for mayor twice and is running again, her main point was that she wants to put the mall back in what we call 16th Street, because Mayor Johnston took it down, and she's always critical of the mayor. Do you think that's a good platform point for a local politician? Would you support her more or less based on that proposal?
I don't need to support her more or less when it comes to calling something I've called 16th Street Mall the 16th Street Mall since I was 7 years old. So it's like these are two totally separate things. The name is the name. It's just
like politicians can do whatever they want. Who cares?
Yeah.
No. I support, there are other things she talks about that I care about. There's a meme about this, but I'm not going to get into it because no one's going to be able to see me do this. But the name is the name that I learned. It's going to be very hard for me to unlearn mall from the name. Okay. And it's just like people renaming 5 Points, which I hate. It's 5 Points. It's not freaking RiNo. And so sometimes when I'm being nice, I'll just be like, 5 Points. Or I'll say 5 Points RiNo. And I think it's very important for those of us who grew up here there's a line in the sand for certain things. Okay. I'm not opposed to growth. I'm not opposed to change, but I am opposed to erasure. And I feel like sometimes in this moment that we're in, old time Colorado, old time Denver things are being erased. And it's really annoying. So I'm going to call it what I called it since I was 7 years old. If you would like to call it 16th Street and you can I have 99 problems and mall is just not one of them. And that's why it's irrelevant to me if in fact, a candidate having that as part of their platform is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I got real things like affordability, safety, dealing with fascism. Like the list is long. I'm going to call it what I'm going to call it. The end.
Well, to be fairly, I think Lisa's point is exactly what you were saying earlier was the point of erasure for a lot of folks. Yeah. I think that's what her point was with that.
But downtown.
Yeah, beyond that, Paul, what do you think about this gamble on 16th Street for Javon?
I mean, I think it might seem like a gamble, but I was talking to him last year. I took a tour of this new space. I don't think he thinks it's a gamble at all. I mean, I think he feels like the winds are blowing towards downtown revitalization, and he got all this money from the DDA. He's really tight with city leaders. Like, he's kind of a rising star. He's a very impressive guy. You talk to him, he's a person with a vision, someone from Denver, really rooted here. Like, you can see it in green spaces, the way that he built that community and got all these people, not feeling comfortable to come, spend money at these retailers, but also just like use the space. Like, that's what everyone wants for 16th Street. All the city leaders who are saying, like, how do we revitalize it? Someone like Javon Taylor, when he shows up, he's like, oh, this is a guy who can bring people out. Like, he's got something that people want. So I don't think he sees it as that much of a gamble, just because there's so many people who are investing so much in his success. I will say the space itself, having seen the inside, I'm a little bit unsure how it's going to work, because green spaces in RiNo was gorgeous. Just such a gorgeous space. Like, it's full of green plants, full of light, big windows. Like, it was a very appealing place to be. This new building he's moving into, like, some of the spaces that he's talking about, like putting art space in, or like the coffee shops, like, they're a little bit like dank. Like, he's not talking about doing a lot of like hard plumbing or like renovation in this old office building. He's just talking about putting different stuff in it. That's how he's going to be able to open this spring after just getting this loan last year. And then, like, there's this whole upstairs where I think he was talking about doing co-working again, which was curious to me, because he's in the article from Business Den about him dropping the green spaces in RiNo. He was like, he didn't like the co-working model. He thought there was too much competition, but maybe that was just a neighborhood piece. But yeah, there's like a 90s era office space up on the second floor of this building that he's moving into. That's not going to be retail. I think that's going to still be like I think he wants people to work in there, pay for office space, subleasing.
I think he could lean into that aesthetic. I mean, honestly, as a person that's been in the DIY world for so long, sometimes a bombed out space is what makes it awesome. Mm-hmm. And maybe this is just the new era of bombed out spaces that you turn into something, you lean into that existing aesthetic.
Well, someone's got to figure out the vision, to make it appealing. Because right now on the office market, the thing that's moving is the newer buildings. The better condition, that's the better quality. That's the places that people want to go into work. If he can come in and provide like some more storytelling, or like create value in a different way that makes it appealing, and to show people a new vision, like that would be additive in a million ways. Like you're saying, like if he can show us that that's the aesthetic that people are attracted to get people out, like
I have
that would
such
be the
a different
secret sauce
take
of
on
the whole
this.
thing.
I have a totally different take on this.
Tell us.
So I actually have worked from co-working spaces for a long time. I use Desk Pass. I used to be a subscriber. And I've worked in many, many, many different co-working spots across Denver and then in other cities when I'm traveling. What makes a co-working space, besides actually really good coffee can make or break a space, which is like the weirdest thing ever, but it's a thing.
Agreed. 100%.
It's the people.
Yeah, that's not weird.
The people and the programming. So if there are people who are really looking for an aesthetic, that's one thing, but they ultimately stay for the vibes, for the like people that you're going to see every other week, for the conversations, for the collaborations. And so to me, if there's a co-working component, that's still going to be a part of this development, I think that's actually where he excels, and that's the proposition, the buyer proposition that he could really share and deliver. And quite frankly, there are very few African American businessmen who are positioned on 60th Street Mall, 60th Street, whatever you want to call it. And so I think, and he's young actually. So for those of you listening who don't know, I have a podcast. And one of the things I've been working on is a piece about redeveloping the Denver pavilions. And some of the things I was like thinking about, I'm going to have to actually change, because the things I was talking about for that pavilion spot, he's doing in his space. And so I think he has a vision. I think it is very compelling. I think that there's a lot of headwinds, not headwinds, there's a lot of energy like pushing him forward. And I think it's really a huge opportunity for him to shine, especially with, again, the pavilions, that whole area, that eastern part of the mall really being thought about, reworked, and re-energized. So I actually have a completely different perspective. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for him. And I think he has the right vision around what it could be.
Well, I definitely agree. It's a great opportunity. And speaking of the vision, we know from Business Den a few of the things that are going to be in here. We know it's going to be a record shop, City Records, an art shop, Fruits of Our Labor, Sushi Kuro, Matter Bookstore. And then he says, according to Business Den, it won't debut with co-working, although Taylor said it could be added later.
Okay.
So I think he's focusing on that first floor space that's a little bit more open.
I'm excited about all that.
Yeah.
I was like, those all sound like great,
good.
because I can see my family strolling in there on a Saturday and spending 2 hours in the record shop, but then also going to the other spaces.
I'm getting
that's really interesting.
Eating some sushi. Yeah. I'm going to listen to, like, if they vibe it out with the record shop, like, I'm there.
Yeah, I love this idea. Well, we'd love to hear what you think. Let us know what you think about this change for green spaces, the closure of the 5 Point space, your hopes and dreams for the 16th Street space. Give us a call, 720-500-5418, and let us know what you think.
Hi, I'm David Plotz. I'm the CEO of CityCast, a podcast network that includes this show you're listening to, and also 12 other CityCasts in 12 other cities. And each one knows their city as well as your local team knows yours. So isn't it time we connected them? Don't you want to know how they're tackling their bike lane problems and housing challenges and sidewalk dog poop crises? That's why I'm hosting a new podcast called Your City Could Be Better. Because it could be. Every week, I'll chat with a different host in our CityCast network about what their cities are doing right and wrong, the weird things they're trying, and the surprising successes, so that we can all learn how to make our cities a little bit better. Listen to Your City Could Be Better on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, did you know CityCast Denver has a perks program? Every week, we're highlighting some standout deals from our favorite businesses in town to help you support local and save some money. It's a win-win. Here's a highlight from this week. Coming to Denver or planning a staycation? Reserve your mile-high experience box with Green Door. Choose edibles or flour, plus Colorado-made snacks and travel essentials, ready for pickup at our trusted local dispensary partner. Everything you need to elevate your trip and enjoy local experiences. And you can use our code DENVERPERK for $10 off. These businesses are offering deals to CityCast readers and listeners because they know you're the most engaged and passionate Denverites. To see a full list, just visit denver.citycast.fm/perks. It's a great way to check out new restaurants, shops, and events in your city without breaking your budget. And I love that for you. And by the way, if you have a local business, you can offer your deals on our perks page too. Visit denver.citycast.fm/perks to learn more today. Let's move on. Our next topic. We're talking about a yet-to-be-realized museum. So a new account followed me on Instagram recently, and it caught my eye. It's called the South Denver Historic Museum. It only had a few posts up. It has a nice-looking website, but I had a lot of questions like, who's behind this? What is South Denver? And I actually talked to the woman behind it. Her name is Brittany Spinner, and she's a hotel interior designer by day and an accidental historian by night. And she just found this. She lives in this part of the city and found that a lot of the history about it was not yet sort of known. And so I guess maybe I should say what she considered South Denver, because this was my big question. South Denver is like a big swath of the city. And so she says she's considering it from 3rd Avenue South all the way to Inglewood and Cherry Creek to the borders of Valverde and Athmar Park. So it's a pretty big section.
That is interesting.
What do you guys think about a museum, another museum? I mean, I don't know if a city can ever have enough museums, honestly, but.
I'm with you, Brie. I think that you can have a ton of museums and you can always add more to the list. I do think that we need to, like the facility that they kind of showed needs apple orchards or like a whole bunch of apple trees, because they were talking about this gentleman and who helped found that part of the city, being an apple farmer.
Yeah, an apple farmer. Is that what
you call it? You guys,
an apple man.
An apple man. So I don't know. I got excited about the whole thing. I like history. I'm nerdy. And I think there's a fun opportunity with this.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely an opportunity. When I sat down to brainstorm, I was like, what's going to be in a South Denver History Museum? I came up with 5 things and they are all a stretch. I have no idea.
Okay, go for it, because I have some information from her on her thoughts. So you tell me what you think.
Okay. So there's 2 that I think are maybe actually good. And one of them, I think I'm the only one in the whole world that would want this, which is the first Chipotle is in South Denver on Evans.
Okay.
That's a historic landmark.
Sure. And do you?
Sorry, everybody. Chipotle is important.
Sorry to all of you that loved it when it was a Dolly Madison, but go on.
I mean, maybe that too, Dolly Madison. Steve Ellis, the man changed lunch, folks. Herbert Bayer's articulated wall. Herbert Bayer, to my knowledge, not recognized enough for his achievement in public art in Denver. That's my favorite.
One of my favorites,
it goes back and forth 1 and 2 with Lucifer, but I do love the articulated wall, South Denver icon, landmark. And then from there, it's like, there was one in Englewood, just I thought was like interesting, that Spaceship Bank. The architect is Charles Deaton.
Charles Deaton. That's right. I thought it was Hartling. You're right.
I really only thought of architecture. And then there's like mid-century modern homes in the area,
yes.
Which feels like something that a museum would tell me what the deal is with. And then honestly, that's it. DU. DU was my last thing. What's up with DU? Where'd DU come from?
And a great campus. I mean, full of beautiful buildings. I think I'm assuming she'll probably be sort of soliciting ideas from the community, because she said as she talks to more people, she just starts to uncover stories. But her original thought, I think, is around, it actually starts with a little bit of a sad story of a building at 749 South Lincoln Street. I'll share a link in the show notes. It has become the poster child for the city's derelict and abandoned buildings program. And it is boarded up. It's been boarded up for a long time. You will know it when you see it.
Yeah, it's like it looks like a row house, but there's nothing around it. The rest of the row is gone.
And it's a singular house. In doing some research on it, so actually she got a hold of the owner of the house. She didn't think, she's like, I wrote a letter to this guy and thought, he's never going to respond to me. This sounds crazy. She wrote to him. He called her back a week later and said, hey, I love your idea for a museum in here. I'm the owner. She's like, he's elderly. He lives out of state. He's just, it's one of his long gone projects of restoring a house that he just has not had the money for. So he was very interested in her thought of turning this into a museum. And so she dug into the house's story itself, and it was designed by an architect named Benjamin Chambers. And most of his buildings have been demolished. So like there just wasn't a story about him because a lot of his work doesn't exist anymore. So that's kind of where she started. And then she looked into who lived in this house, because that's another component of historic status now, right? In Denver is the cultural impact of a space. And she found that an educator lived there, and her name was Eugenia M. Walker. She was a teacher and an eventual principal at Baker Junior High School. But she was a huge advocate in the space of integration of DPS schools.
Oh, wow.
Before the conversation actually started happening. Her name's Eugenia M. Walker. And she traveled all over the state talking to other educators about the importance of high quality education for children of color in Colorado.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah, she's like, it had a cool story. She's like, she was just literally a tenant there. And she was like, I know we tend to, history tends to lean on like who paid for things and, who the big wheelers and dealers were of a day. But she's like, this is a person that had roommates and lived in this house and ran childcare part-time out of it to afford to live here, but devoted her life to education integration and supporting children of color in their educational pursuits. And so that's kind of where she's like been with this museum, is like it's eligible for the National Historic Register and the State Historic Register. She's working on that stuff. But now she's basically just trying to find money to turn this building into a museum, an educational space, and coffee shop. So she's just been working hard, head down. She's like, I'm sorry, my Instagram has no posts on it. I am doing this on the side myself. She's just sort of an amateur history buff that she moved to Denver in 2019, loves the city, and loved this building and was like, how do I do something with this building?
It's a cool dream.
I know. And that's what she said. I was on the website. The renderings of the coffee shop look adorable. Like, it's so like warm, leans into what the house looks like. She's like, also a really cool component of this house is, she said, the way it's naturally designed has made it easy to upgrade its accessibility. Like there's a space for an elevator in a way that she's like, I kind of can't believe that it exists. Like that part's actually not going to be hard to make it more accessible. So I wish her the best of luck. I'll put a link to the Instagram in the show notes, but I get excited when someone uncovers something about Denver that I have never heard of. And I thought this was so cool.
Yeah, I feel the same way. That's a great story. Wish her the best of luck. We'll put links in the show notes.
Okay, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to do a hockey quiz. Okay, we're back. Paul, you have to preface this. I really don't know anything about it. I know you both were very excited about this Professional Women's Hockey League taking over. I'm going to hand the floor to you both.
I mean, to be totally honest, I'm feeling a little weird about the entire sport of hockey right now.
Oh.
It feels like a weird year for the sport I grew up with. Not really sure how to feel about it, but Michelle, you alerted me to this, the fact that this is happening. The Professional Women's Hockey League takeover at Ball Arena. There's 2 games happening, one on Saturday, one on Sunday, this weekend, 2 p.m. The Saturday one's sold out. Sunday one still has tickets available.
Cool.
You were hot on this.
How did I not know that it was the entire weekend?
Well, it's just 2 games, but I think that they're taking up the whole weekend at Ball Arena. These teams are coming to town.
I was fortunate enough to attend the last takeover. It was phenomenal. It was so much fun.
It set attendance records.
It set attendance records. I actually have attended a lot of Avs games, and it feels very different. First of all, there's a lot of families. There's so many families, so many little kids, so many girls, women. The energy is very different. We did the wave. So it's just a party. And I am so excited about Denver hosting this. It's a great time. And if you are a person who is like, I am curious about hockey, but I'm not 100% sure, this is a great starter game to go to. It's not even a starter game. The women, I think, play a much more technical game. That's my impression.
Less physical.
Yeah, they're physical, but I just feel like their strategy is like much more elevated. So it's a great experience.
I love it. So there's tickets still available, so folks can go check that out this weekend.
Yep, starting at $35 compared to $71 for the Avalanche tonight. Much more affordable.
This is what I was going to say is I think also the reason you're seeing kids there is because it's more affordable to families. And as a person with a family, if I'm going to buy tickets for something, that's a huge determining factor, which I also think is cool because it then starts building a fan base of young kids who maybe wouldn't be exposed to a hockey game at that level because of the cost. So that's awesome.
It's just a huge opportunity. I feel like women's sports in general are this is what's part of what's fueling the moment that they're having is the fact that the NHL, the NBA, the NFL, they're just so dang expensive.
They're so expensive.
And it's nice to have a more
They're
affordable
expensive, but these women's sports. No, but I want to push back. The women's sports are very, very fun to watch. Yes, it's great that they're affordable, but the quality is equivalent. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, it's cheaper, but it's not going to be the same experience. No, it's a vibe. It's a lot of fun. So I want to add that piece to it.
Yeah. Okay. So to set up the quiz that you mentioned, Brie.
Oh God.
This league that is coming to town. This is but the latest of a string of professional women's hockey leagues that has sprung up. Every previous one has failed since the 90s. I think there's been like 5 or 6. But the interesting part with this one is that it came out of the failure of the previous one in like 2019. The league fell apart. And because that league was so poorly run and the players were so poorly paid, the players formed a players association as the league was going into bankruptcy. And so that players association survived the league's failure and then partnered with this new funder, a guy named Mark Walter, who owns the Dodgers and like some insurance companies. He and Billie Jean King has some organization. So she's like a consulting role. I think he's bringing a lot of the money. They've set up a league. There's now 8 teams. They keep expanding. They own them all. And then that's the league that they're kind of trying out these new markets to see if maybe there's a good potential for an expansion franchise in Denver. So
that's cool.
If they sell out again, if the attendance is good, people will show up. But I think it's still a little hard to follow. Hockey is a notoriously difficult sport to get into, and between heated rivalry and this new professional women's sports league, I came up with a little game to help people keep things straight. So I have pulled together.
Yes,
you
keep
the
them
word
straight.
When you're
I don't know
talking
what you
about
mean.
straight,
I don't know what you're referring to. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. I'm like,
I don't
unless it's gay,
understand
I'm
what's
outta
happening.
So, okay, no, here's the game. It's really simple. It's just names of teams. I'm going to give you a name of a team, and you have to tell me if it's one of the 8 professional women's hockey league teams, women's teams, or if it's one of the team names that was made up for heated rivalry because they did not pay for the license to use NHL team names.
Oh.
Okay.
So are we gonna like buzz in? Are we gonna
You're
say
gonna
our
buzz
name
in.
if we know it?
Just shout out if you know it. I'll distribute the points if whoever gets them first. Okay, number 1. So PWHL or heated rivalry, girl aquarium or boy aquarium.
Okay.
Number 1, the New York Sirens.
Me?
Go for it.
The PWHL?
You got it. Bree gets the point.
That's like a thing we label women, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
a siren.
just thinking of weird things we label women.
It's like a mythical
But I like
creature
it.
thing, I think.
Yeah, it's like not a mermaid, kind of. Yeah. You're asking someone that knows nothing about fantasy or sci-fi.
Hey, you got
A
it.
mermaid siren person who draws men to their death. So it's actually a really great
Hell yeah.
mascot for a hockey
Oh
league.
man, I love it. I'm invested now.
Apparently
You
the
got
team
me.
is terrible. They're at the bottom of the league.
Okay.
You know
Worst
what?
attendance.
I live in the state where the Rockies exist, so terrible team, who cares?
Okay, number two. Houston Drillers.
That is definitely heated rivalry.
What tipped you off, Michelle? How'd you get that one?
Oh
Drillers.
my God.
I love the names of the teams they gave
First
up
of
with.
all,
They're so good.
This is
I feel like the
so-
writing team were just messing with people with that name.
Oh my
I cannot even
God.
believe that went past production.
It's so funny. All right, number 3. It's 1-1. The Ottawa Charge.
Oh, that's a real ambiguous one.
I think that's heated rivalry.
I can't tell the sexual orientation of that.
Michelle guesses heated rivalry. Sadly, that is incorrect.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
That is the
Wow.
PWHL
The
team.
Charge.
The Charge
Okay.
The heated
Not
rivalry team in
Chargers, the
Ottawa.
Charge.
is, of course, the Centaurs.
Oh, okay.
Of course, the Centaurs.
But it's okay. But Centaurs, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. As
I
a
know, it's like-
sci-fi romantasy person, that it feels like a weird.
Are you gendering a centaur?
Yeah.
You can see
Actually,
where
you
those
probably
that
could
book
gender
series is
something.
going to go next. I think
Okay.
that's less romantasy. They're touching on it.
Uh-huh.
She's teasing us. All right, so it's 1-1. Your next clue: the Boston Raiders.
I will go with PWHL.
That's incorrect, and I'm sorry. Neither have watched this show.
No. I told you I can. I'm too prude to watch this show.
The Raiders figure
I've watched the show. I'm not watching for the names of the. Let's be clear.
Oh.
I'm not watching the show for the names of the teams.
You watch it
I'm watching the show for Ilya. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's be very clear what I'm watching. We got different priorities.
I'm in the show and I'm like following the rankings. So who's winning the cup this year in Heated Rivalry episode 3? That's me. Okay, so no points awarded, sadly. Hate to do that. Next one, the Toronto Scepters.
What? I don't know what a scepter is. I should.
It's like a something like the royalty would hold. I think
it's Heated Rivalry. I just, it's a weird name for an actual NHL team.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a real PWHL team, the Toronto Scepters.
Oh, WH.
Really?
That's weird.
I thought that one was
going to... scepter is like a... Okay,
kind of phallic.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were describing.
Yeah. Would have been a great name for a Heated Rivalry team. Anyway,
again,
no points.
I watch for Ilya, not for the names of the teams.
Next one.
Just say.
Seattle Torrent.
Oh, that's definitely PWHL, and I know that because they were at the last game.
Hell yeah. You got it, Michelle.
Oh.
Michelle takes the lead. So this last question, I'm going to make this one for 2 points. So Bree, you could win it all if you get this one right. This is my favorite one. This is not maybe canon to the show, but the showrunner said, oh wait, I just gave it all away. Damn.
You just gave it all away, Paul.
The LA Queens. The LA Queens.
That's the show's name?
That's what the showrunner said would be the name of the team in LA. And I was like, that is a team that would be the PWHL team.
I would be the...
Yeah.
I was like, I would be the biggest fan of the fictional men's team called the Queens personally, just based on what I would infer from it. Oh, man.
I gave away my best one. Damn.
It's okay.
Well,
I think Michelle technically wins then.
Michelle takes it home 2-1. And
good job, Michelle.
Have fun at the takeover this weekend, everyone. Seems like
it'll
cool
be
thing.
great.
Well, Paul, Michelle, thanks for joining me.
It was fun.
See you next time, Bree.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed the show, why not take a minute to tell Heated Rivalry creator Jacob Tierney about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe to our morning newsletter at denver.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye-bye. I do love beautiful gay men, or at least people portraying beautiful gay men. So maybe I'll just watch it and fast forward through the sex parts.
I mean,
like at the 7-year-old I am.
There's not much
but
the sex parts.
I'm like, I want to watch it, but maybe I'll just look at pictures of them.